Hi, Bressie. Would you make her feel welcome?
Hi everyone, thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Now I just want to kick off by asking some questions and just seeing who we have in the room. So let's talk diets. Who's been on a diet before? Can I see a show of hands? All right, nearly everyone in the room. Okay, who's on a diet right now and maybe looks a little bit like this guy? Not sure. Who's never been on a diet before? Okay. All right, so the people who've been on a diet, did you lose weight? Yes? Okay. Who's lost weight, or who's trying to lose weight now? Okay. Who's lost weight and put it all back on? Who's lost weight, put it all back on and got someone else's on top of that, like our friend Oprah here? Can I see a show of hands? Who thinks that diets work? Oh, okay. Who thinks they don't work? All right. Who thinks they would work if you stuck to them properly and stopped going around in this diet cycle? All right. Who doesn't stick to them properly because they're boring, restrictive, and unsatisfying? Okay. Here's one. Who's been on a diet that's not called a diet because it's just a meal plan, but it's just as restrictive as a diet, so why don't they just call it a diet? Anyone? All right, well, what about this one? Okay, so you've sworn off cake entirely. You said you're never going to eat cake again, and then the next day you get to work and it's somebody's birthday. And before you know it, you're wrist deep in chocolate icing, just like this fella here. And you've hated yourself for doing it. Yeah. Another one. You've sworn off chocolate. You said you're never going to eat chocolate again, and 3 days later Woolworths has Tim Tams on sale for 50 cents a packet. And you just bought 7 of them. And you get them home and you wish you hadn't, and you've hated yourself for doing it, for being so weak. Yeah. So who here would like to take complete control of their eating habits once and for all? Great. You're the guys I'm talking to. Okay, so the reason I'm here is because I used to abuse food, and I abused food my whole life. Okay. So, with food with me, it was either I was thinking about what I was going to eat next, or I was regretting the meal that I just had. And because I was doing this, I would constantly go back to going on a diet or trying to control what I ate. So I've tried every diet under the sun, from Atkins to paleo. I've even tried the soup diet. I've even been to nutritionists and tried their diets. And I even tried eating the food Pulse for some times because it was deemed as the food of Hercules. And if I wasn't on a diet, I was on a detox. And so there was the fruit juice detox and the vegetable juice detox. There was the lemon juice detox. And one of the detoxes, get this, it involved eating clay for some time. So I went to some extremes. If I wasn't on a diet, if I wasn't on a detox, I was counting calories. Okay, so the problem with this is that sometimes I'd save up the calories and have them all in one meal. So if I was going out to lunch with friends or dinner, I would save all that up. And one of the meals may have been a burger and fries. So it really wasn't the healthiest way of living. And I've even tried starving myself. I used to starve myself for days. Now the problem with this is that my body was absolutely screaming out for nutrients, and I would pretty soon go back to the way that I was eating before. And a lot of my meals involved binges. And I could sit there for 3 hours at a time and just eat. So my binges would involve maybe a litre of ice cream, throw in a big ass bag of chips. I'd have some biscuits in there as well. I'd throw in some lollies, and I'd have a family-sized block of chocolate. And I absolutely felt fat and bloated, and I hated myself for what I was doing, but I'd go and throw it all up. And this went on for 20 long years. So I stand before you with a concept, and I want you to just take in a deep breath, and I want you to embrace this sentence, because it's really important. Stop focusing on the food. The food is not the problem. What you eat is not the problem. What you eat is, in fact, the symptom. And the more you try focusing on changing what you eat, changing the problem, or fixing the symptom, the more time you're going to waste, because it just doesn't work that way. The key is to get to the underlying cause of why you are drawn to certain foods at certain times. The cause of why is what's driving your eating. And the cause of why you're eating is 100% driven by your emotions, no matter what we do in our lives. Our souls have needs that need to be fulfilled. And if the subconscious brain and soul is saying, I need this emotion fulfilled, and I'm going to get it through Tim Tams, no matter how hard you try not to eat the Tim Tams, you're going to eat the Tim Tams. So focusing on the food just doesn't work. You need to embrace your emotions to overcome your emotional eating. So most of you here may have heard of the 6 core human needs. And for those of you who haven't, well, you're in for a real treat, because that's what this next part of the talk is about. And for those of you who have, well, sit tight, because you're going to hear about them again. But you haven't heard about them from me, so hopefully you're going to walk away with something new. So there are 6 core human needs that our souls crave. And if we're not fulfilling these needs in constructive ways, we're going to fulfill them in non-constructive ways. Some people turn to drugs, others turn to alcohol, and some of us turn to food. And that food becomes a crutch in order for us to fulfill a deeper need in our soul. Can I see a show of hands? Who here eats when they're not hungry? Yeah. Who here eats when they're bored? What about when they're stressed? Yeah. And who here gets so stressed that they don't even know what they're eating anymore? Just like our friend George Bush here. So for anyone, I wouldn't be surprised if this really happened. So for anyone who is not in complete control of their eating habits, your emotions is what's driving your eating. So there are 6 core human needs that our souls need. Okay, so we have certainty or safety, uncertainty or excitement, significance, which is the need to feel needed, love and connection, which is the need to feel a part of something like EMC, for example. Growth, it's the need to feel like we're moving forward, as if we're better than the day before. Contribution, the need to feel like we're giving back and making a contribution to society. So let's move on to certainty. First of all, to get a good life, I just want to say that we just have to fulfill the first 4 human needs, okay? If you want to get a great life, a fulfilling life, then we move on to fulfilling the whole 6. So certainty, it's the need for safety and security. We need to feel like we're not under threat of anything, as if there's no lack of anything. So we have all our food, our water, our shelter. We need to feel like we've got a steady job and a stable income so that we can pay all the bills. Now, for most of us, this need is fulfilled when we're children. So we have this certainty, okay? And it's usually because our parents provide everything for us. They provide our food, our water, our shelter. They're the ones that work, so they take care of the income and the bills. We don't even need to think about that. And our parents are always there, so they're always there to provide this love and support. Okay, so it's taken care of mostly when we're children. Now, when I was a child, I used to eat a lot of salt vinegar chips. So my subconscious mind had made the connection between chips and this certainty. So fast forward 20 years, and whenever my life was in any stress, or if I had any relationship trouble, or any money dramas, if ever my life was in any turmoil or bedlam, then I would constantly reach out for these salt vinegar chips. But they weren't what I was addicted to, and I spent lots of time, money, and energy thinking that I was actually addicted to salt vinegar chips, but it wasn't that. It was the certainty that I was reaching out for. So the way that I overcame my salt vinegar chip addiction was by doing some work on myself and realizing that I'm really the only person who can provide this, that this is not something that's external. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to a little bit of uncertainty. Okay, so this is the need for change, for the unknown, for new stimuli. Okay, we need a little bit of uncertainty in our lives, and if we're not going to get that, then we reach out for it with food. And the way that I got my uncertainty was through chocolate. Can anyone agree with me that chocolate seems a little bit exciting? Yeah. Yeah, we've got two hands. And we say it in a way that's kind of naughty, that, you know, we'll say like, I just had some chocolate. I really shouldn't have because I'm on a diet. I'll probably have a little bit more later. You know, as if there's something wrong, as if it's like this really big thing. Okay, so there was a point in my life where I was living a very boring, mundane existence, and I was going to work in a job that I really didn't like. I was studying at university, which was quite ordinary. And this is the topper. I was living with my ex-boyfriend, who was also my ex-boyfriend at the time. So I had to be careful not to ruffle any feathers there. So going to work, coming home, doing uni assignments, tiptoeing around the ex-boyfriend so that I didn't ruffle any feathers. Go to work, come home, do uni assignments. Who here liked doing uni assignments? Woo. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that hand. I've done. Tiptoe around the ex-boyfriend so I didn't ruffle any feathers. Okay, so life was pretty ordinary, but there was a chocolate vending machine right outside my door. So I'd be at home studying, and I'd think, what chocolate am I going to have tonight? There's Picnic, or Kit Kat, or Mars Bar, or Snickers. Focus, you've got to get the assignment done. But Picnic has nuts in it. Or I could have that chocolatey wafer biscuit, or that creamy nougat caramel. Or I could have reached out for a Snickers, because everybody knows Snickers really satisfies. Focus, you've got 2,500 words to write before Thursday. But Picnic has nuts in it. And nuts are healthy. So if I have nuts for dinner, then really I'm being healthy. It's a picnic tonight. And the chocolate would win every time. So you can see like how boring my life was if chocolate was the most exciting thing that was going on in my life. So the way that I overcame my chocolate addiction was by becoming a coach, actually, and creating this program. And this is something that I'm very passionate about. I absolutely love doing it. And I can spend hours just focused on this stuff and focused on my new business, and it pumps me up and it excites me. And I don't even need chocolate in my life anymore. Chocolate doesn't even make me turn my head. And I can guarantee you no one is going to see me downstairs on that skill tester this whole EMC weekend. Because I have enough excitement in my life now. So significance. This is the need to feel important, to feel special, the need to feel needed, unique. Now, some people will fulfill this need by competing with others. Other people will fulfill it by making that human connection with other human beings. Other people will fulfill it by tearing others down. But I used to fulfill it through food. And this is one that can actually escape people because it can show up looking like it's not about emotional eating, but believe me, it is. So in my past life, I worked in real estate, and I worked in an office full of women, and I was a little different. For starters, I didn't drink coffee, and they all did. So when anyone would go and make a cup of coffee, they'd offer everyone else in the office a coffee, except for little old me. Plus, they smoked. So they used to go out on their group cigarette breaks, and I'd be the one left in the office manning the phones and taking care of receptions. And maybe it was paranoia setting in, but I used to think that they were coming in and looking at me funny because they were giggling and making little remarks. They also used to socialise together. So they would come Friday, they would be planning their weekend, and then Monday would roll around and they'd be coming in sharing anecdotes about all the wonderful times they had at the weekend. And then there were the staff meetings. And if they weren't talking over the top of me, when I actually got the chance to be able to put my suggestion forward, then one of the other girls would say, yeah, well, that's okay, but what about this? And she'd make my idea bigger and better, and she was the one who got the credit for it. So the way that I got significance in this office was through Chinese food. And I'd go around and I'd take everyone's orders for lunch, and I felt quite significant doing that. And I used to always come back and make sure that I brought back some extra spring rolls or some prawn chips and some extra lollies and chocolates so we could snack on them in the afternoon. Now, there was a trade-off there because I had to eat rubbish food in order to feel significant. And what I realise now is that it wasn't about the Chinese food. That was just the avenue I took in order to feel needed. So people who bake or who contribute food to celebrations, significance could be the need that is lacking in their life. And so what needs to happen is you need to fill your life with things that you're passionate about. Is everyone following? Okay, I kind of wanted that to be a little bit bigger, so I just want to sum this up. Okay. What you need to do is grab your life by the balls and fill it up with shit that you love. Is everyone following now? Thank you. I'm passionate about this stuff. And maybe that's the Italian blood that comes from my dad's side of the family. Whatever. I just want everyone to take in a deep breath. That was for me. We're going to soften this talk with a little bit of love and connection. So this is the need to feel this connection and union with someone or something. So as I said before, fulfill the first 4 needs for a good life. But we don't want a good life. I mean, that's why we're here, learning from the wonderful Paul Blackburn, Mary Blackburn, and Helen Abbott. We want an amazing life, a fulfilling life. So does everyone want to know how to get that? Yes. You. By the balls. Growth. So this is the expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. Now this is another tricky one, like significance, as it can escape people. It can show up like it's, you don't even see that it's happening. Now, as you know, we need to grow, okay? Now, if you've listened to any of the works by human behaviour expert Dr. John Demartini, you may be familiar with one of his findings. Now, he talks about growth and how our souls crave it. And so part of this growth is having small challenges in life. So our souls will constantly seek out challenges. Now, you can either choose to consciously give your souls the challenges that you choose, the ones that are congruent with your highest values, goals that are inspiring to you, ones that are going to take you forward in the direction that you want to grow. Or you can sit there and choose not to give it those challenges, and not to give it challenges that are inspiring to you. And if that is the case, then life, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is going to give you challenges that are uninspiring to you, such as eating addictions. Now, if you feel that your life is one uninspiring challenge after another, after another, after another, which makes it hard for you to get on top of your eating habits, then I can almost guarantee you that growth is the need that you are lacking in your life. And you need to decide now what little challenges you're going to give yourself to grow. Because if you don't, well, you're definitely going to grow, but it's probably going to be out here in the waste area, because that's going to be one of the challenges that life throws at you. And contribution. This is a sense of service and focus on helping, giving to, and supporting others. We need to feel like we're contributing beyond ourselves in a meaningful way. So like I said, fulfill the first 4 needs for a good life. Add those last 2 for a fulfilling life. Okay? So based on everything that I just said, worrying about the food is pointless. You've got to get to a place where you are living a fulfilling and inspired life and fulfilling the 6 core human needs. Which is why I've created this program. So it's a 12-week intensive emotions-based program, and it's online, so you can access it from absolutely anywhere, from the comfort of your own home if you wish. So what it's designed to do is to pinpoint where you are now, understand those emotions that are driving your eating. We identify your true core values so that we know that you're living life on your terms, not on somebody else's. We set some really inspiring goals, because little goals just don't have any magic. And then we build your self-esteem from the inside out, and we optimize your health. So let's take a closer look at what's inside the program. 52 lessons and exercises specifically designed to create the life of your dreams. The ultimate guide to dealing with your emotions, taking back control of your eating habits, your health, and your life. In this, you'll learn how to spot the link between your emotions and the foods you reach out for. You'll get the healthy, real food recipe book jam-packed with loads of whole food recipes. I've included tons of inspirational videos to inspire you to get up and go forward with your purpose. There's some deep emotional healing hypnosis downloads so we can really tap into your subconscious and start to work on your emotions from the inside out. Plus, I'll throw in some emotional awareness meditation tracks to declutter the mind so you can cultivate mindfulness and expanded consciousness, and in turn be able to tackle and deal with the reasons behind why you emotionally eat. All this for just $297. Plus, you'll also get the Confronting Your Unresolved Anger, Confronting Your Unresolved Fear, and Confronting Your Unresolved Sadness ebooks. All this for just $297. And if that's not enough value for you, we're also going to give you some extra special gifts that may or may not be some of the greatest things ever written on the power of the mind. All this for just $297. But wait, there's more. And it's not steak knives. If you take up this incredible offer today, we're going to throw in the Procrastination Killer. It's the ultimate guide to getting off your behind and getting shit done. We'll also throw in the Money Mindset so you can learn how to live finance free to secure your financial future and stop worrying about money and cash flow. I'm going to give you the Positive Thinking ebook so you can learn the keys to success. Learn the ways to get out of a rut and into a positive mind frame so you can attract the things you really want in life. You'll also learn strategies on how to aim higher so you can tap into your success. Want more? How would you like to know the secrets to a millionaire mind so you can think your way to massive profits? And I still want to give you more. Learn how to win friends and influence others and influence your way to success. I'm still not done. Get the Goal Setting Success Guide and always hit your target head on. Get started today and you'll get all this plus the Thinking Big and Growing Rich in the Digital Age ebook so you can start making money online. All this for just $297. So just to sum up, you get the whole 12-week emotional leading program. Plus, we'll throw in all 3 of the Confronting Your Unresolved Emotions courses. You'll also get some of the greatest works ever written on the power of the mind. And if you get started today, we'll give you, for no extra cost, 8 guides and ebooks so you can get started on creating your success. Low cost, massive value. Just click on the link below to get started.